We got sound now? Hopefully we're good now. Anyway, so what I was saying is good afternoon and good evening, fellow Americans. You know, we're going to change up the format of this thing just a little bit so that everybody gets a little bit clearer message. The way I was doing it was kind of interrupting myself to answer questions, you know, throughout the thing. I want to make sure that I get my point across. So I'm going to save the question and answer period towards the end. This is going to be a little bit longer video than normal, so you know, I just want to touch base on a few things. Hello, everybody sitting there watching. You know, hopefully you're inspired. Hopefully you're jacked. There's a lot of good stuff going on right now. You know, it's a sucky time, but it's an exciting time in America. We have a chance as just regular American citizens to do something amazing. That really has not been done since the 1700s. You know, this is freaking amazing. So I'm super excited about what we can accomplish as a united people on this movement. So first thing I just wanted to touch base on, you know, we're all in lockdown. You know, a lot of us are stuck at home. Your states are too restrictive. Some of you are able to still work, which is great. I'm one of those. My business is an essential business, so you know I'm not out of work, but you know it is affecting friends and family. And you know what I want to get across is you know do a little motivation of the day type of thing, motivational point. Set an alarm first thing in the morning. You know, try to get up at your normal times. Don't throw your schedule off. It can mess with your head. And you know, get up when the alarm goes off. You know, it's going to help you stay in rhythm. Suicide rates are skyrocketing throughout the U.S. right now. I don't want any of you guys affected by that. I want you to stay jacked, stay interested, stay motivated. You know. Personally, I believe you know you master the morning, you master the day, and that's how you master your life. So, want to go over a little bit of state of the revolution. Where are we at? So today I got well, actually yesterday I got somebody involved that's doing heading up the recruiting. Her name is Jenna Myers. She is. She's in a different country. Her husband is in the service, so you know, thank you for your service to her husband. But it gives her a little bit more freedom, but it also throws off her time schedule. So if anybody is answering the recruitment post right now, she will get back to you as soon as you know it's daylight where she's at. We are looking for leaders. We're looking for you know secondaries, thirds. For the states, we're looking for city and county leads. We're going to get everybody coordinated up. This is going to be an extremely organized and large movement that we are going to send a large message. We've had a ton of sharing going on, guys. It's fantastic. I mean, one, you know, just for some statistics here, the one main post that we have, the main meme has 37,000 people that has reached, and that keeps growing in the thousands every day. So you guys are responsible for that. Thank you. Currently, the page has going on about 3.4 thousand followers. Huge numbers considering how long the page has been here. Not very long. It's less than a week now. So, you know, again, huge thing you guys are doing. Amazing at spreading the word. YouTube, which is only less than 24 hours. We've got 113 subscribers. We need to be pushing more people to that, but everybody who got the message and jumped on there, thank you. You know, start spreading that one more. The YouTube has a couple of restrictions, and once you hit 1,000 subscribers, you can get the custom name so that we're easier to find, and you know then people start to see us more. Plus, the amount of views and comments, likes, and subscribes also raise our ranking so that more people will see this message. We want more people to see the message and to join us. That's really the thing. Some people have talked about doing a march earlier. I'm not opposed to that, but we're doing ours at this time so that we have enough time to make sure that it's a huge showing. I want tens of thousands of people. Michigan just did one, and it was like 10,000, a little more maybe. Fantastic. We want double to triple those numbers at ours, okay? If not, 100,000 would be fantastic. That's what we're shooting for. And that's the plans in place to make it happen. Another update, we do have the website domain. For everybody watching, it is AmericanRevolution2.org. There is already a .com. The reason I went with the .org and kept it with that, even though there's a .com, it's a fairly small site, but the .org is because we are going to be a nonprofit organization. After this is all done, we're in the works to make that happen because we want to continue to do the work and have you guys help out. A lot of the people that we're talking to are on board for this till the end. Make the entire the entire system get cleaned up, and that's what we're into. So if you're on board, let us know if you're on board for the long haul. We've got a lot of groups that are joining up with us right now. I just got off the phone with a great lady in Wyoming. They are doing a march on April 24th. We will be putting information about that if you want to go to both. She's going to be putting out information ours in case her people want to go to both. It's only going to help our showing be even bigger. Like I said, YouTube, we need to push a lot more. We also need your help in getting out other social media platforms. There's a lot of them. We have a YouTube account. I said yesterday it's at AmericanRev2. That's the tagline there. At American REV2. But we don't really have the Instagram yet. We're going to get that started. But you guys blast it out on Instagram, blast it out on LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever. Just blast this message out there. Anyway, I'm not as familiar with all those social media platforms as some of you are. So, use your talent and your skill to help spread the word every which way. One of the other things, if you're on board as far as either a state leader, helping to coordinate at the state level, or even you want to get involved in the city and county level in organizing, getting the word out, we're going to be using the Signal app for communication. So download that. Jen A will get a hold of the leaders, get them on there. We're going to get group chats broken down into different levels so that we keep communication tight with everybody. With the events, there may be slight changes that happen, and we want to make sure everybody's up to date. We also want to make sure that everybody is getting the information, because we're going to be releasing probably a couple days before the week of the march. We're going to be releasing protocols to make sure nobody is arrested. Nobody's harassed by the police. We don't have any problems. Everybody's safe, okay? Now, I wanted to touch on this. I'll touch on this a little bit more later, but we really want to take the approach of the Hydra, not the Marvel group. We want to take the approach of the mythical character, have so many heads that they can't cut off one. Facebook has already been extremely limiting on me. They've censored my account personally. They've censored the page. We've had people try to find the page. They can't get to it even with a valid link to it. So, the way you do that, the way we beat that is to have so many people involved and so many people pushing this that they can't cut off any head. There's not enough heads to cut off. And I'll get into the tactics of that a little bit later. But I already touched on this a little bit. Current events. We got the Michigan car protest today. That was huge. Big message there to one of the most tyrannical governors in the U.S., Whitmer, and she's a piece of work. If you want to call somebody a dictator, that's one I would. But the whole thing here is we want to send an even bigger message on May 1st. That was fantastic work. Anybody who was involved in that, kudos, great job. The idea of the cars was great. A lot of people got out of their cars and were up protesting in person. For them, they didn't want that to happen. It was a little bit riskier, but it did anyway. And that's again one of the things we want to be careful of. We want to make sure that we're extremely organized, guys. We want to make sure that we are all on point. Nobody's doing anything different than what we want to have done, because we want to make sure this gets represented the right way. I didn't see any stories about Michigan like I saw about North Carolina. So far the media's just been covering the facts on that with obviously their normal tilt to it. But it hasn't been crazy. They're not saying a bunch of false stuff. So that's kind of where that's at. Any questions, any comments that you have on anything I've said so far, please drop them down there. I will be going through these towards the end and answering questions, getting into things more. But I want to talk about tactics, what we have going on here. So, like I said, the Hydra effect. We want to be everywhere with so many heads that we can't be stopped, okay? We want to be the multi-headed Hydra. That is the idea. So many heads, nobody can stop a message, okay? The one of the things with that, right, is one of the guys, Nathan Holleran, I think is his name. He did a short little video. We'll be posting it up in a little bit here. In the comments here, we'll probably also be posting it to the page after a little bit. But he did a nice little video about some tactics that we should be using. So the Facebook algorithm, part of the way it works is that first off, it identifies a page that has things posted on it that they classify as conspiracy theories. So all the Bill Gates stuff, all the Q stuff, guys. Don't want to disagree with you on that. I'm not going to get into that. But keep it off the page so that we're censored a little bit less. Talk amongst each other about that stuff. It'll help keep us uncensored a little bit longer, or less censored a little bit longer. If you have posted something about that, if you would remove it, that would be nice. I'm not going to go in there and delete anything. It's freedom of speech as far as I'm concerned. I think fascist book is a pain in the ass. You guys do what you want, but just to let you know how things work, if they find that stuff on the page with their computer AI, they do tag the page as also a conspiracy theory site, anti-vaxxer site, and then they start putting up warnings, blocking people, dropping it in the ranking, all that stuff. Okay, so just so you're aware of that, I do 100% believe in the evil cabal. I'll just put that out there, and I do think Gates is one of them. That's uncontestable. Depopulation theory is one of the most disgusting things on the planet. Also, the other thing is pictures. So here's the thing. Facebook recognizes the name of pictures. They, when we post something right now, and you go to share it, what it does is it records that name, and if it sees it too much, like it's spam, then they will tag it as spam, and they'll drop the rankings and make it less visible. You can beat that by either saving the picture to your computer if you're on your computer, and taking and changing the name of it and then reposting the same picture. Or, if you're on your phone, just take a screenshot, cut it down to size so it's the same size, and repost it that way because your phone assigns a new name to that picture. That'll help us keep getting the word out. And once the word is out there enough, it'll go insane, right? That's the thing. We want to have the word out there so that we get the numbers at these marches that we really need to represent ourselves as citizens to these corrupt officials that think they're tyrannical leaders. Okay, they think they're dictators. They're violating the Constitution, not only of the United States but also their own states. It's ridiculous, and we need to be smarter than them, and this is part of the tactics. And so that's one of the things. Change the name of the file, or take a screenshot. Keep the link to the web page on there, to the Facebook page on there, or the YouTube page on there. You can also drop it in your comments if that starts to get blocked. Just do the picture and then drop it in the comments so that people see it. And then that'll help keep the word going out there, and Facebook or Fascist Book from censoring us too much. Let's see. The other big tactic that we're using is we want tight communication. So if you're interested in being part of the team here, make sure that you are downloading the Signal app. We will be in contact with you in order to connect up to different groups depending on the level that you're at. Okay. We want to make sure that we keep communication clear to those who are leading different levels, and then to those who are going to show up, so that we can keep everybody with the same message, and nobody's off doing something weird. So that we can keep the communication lines open. That's part of the reason for YouTube right now. YouTube is great format that we can get these videos out. We may end up getting censored on there, probably will. And again, it's a thing that's buying us enough time, and it'll help us spread the word before we get censored there. Yes, AmericanRevolution2.org. Sorry. AmericanRevolution2, the number 2.org. So anyway, so with YouTube, get on there, subscribe. It'll help us send the message out even more. It's another thing that you can link up and send out these videos and share these videos to people that you know without Facebook realizing it quite as fast. Also, one of the things we're looking for is a video editor. So if you are one, if you know one that would be on board, we want to cut portions of this up so that they're easily sent out on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, stuff like that, so that we can just blast this thing everywhere. And then that's kind of the thing with YouTube. It's another communication line. We got to keep organization. We got to keep communication in. We got to keep them in tight, guys. That's going to be our strength, the organization, right? That's one of the things a lot of these other groups are lacking, is organization. The reason I feel that the organization is so important is because I want to keep all of you, all of us, safe. We don't want anything crazy or stupid happening. Yep, Nick Holloway. I was just throwing props up to you. Sorry, I saw your name. So I do want to give props. He did a great video on what I was just talking about, how to change things up. Go to his page, check it out. Good little Facebook Live video he did there, just talking about some good tips to keep the message rolling. Thank you, Nick, for that. Jenna, thank you for organizing the recruitment. And Eric, doing a fantastic job down in SoCal, man. Freaking amazing. Let's see. Okay, final thing, just like main thing we want to keep on today and keep pushing. Share this page as absolutely much as you can. Share the message while we still can. That's the way we're going to get people to see this until the page gets shut down. We got to get the message out there more. And while Facebook is censoring search results, dropping us down, the direct shares are going to be the way. Find groups that you can share to. Local groups that you can share to, the NRA groups, the health freedom groups, Tea Party groups, local ones. Find city groups that are involved in this. Find state groups that are involved in this. Find county groups that are involved in this, and share it like crazy. Their purposes automatically align with, or already align with ours. so tightly that it becomes an easy thing for them to get involved. Libertarians, constitutionalists, Tea Party guys, they all are very tight with what our message is and believe it already. And they've already got organizations in, they've already got people in. So if they can get the phone out or the word out, then we can get them involved very quickly and get to large numbers very quickly. The other thing is churches, right? So get it out to pastors. Call your local pastor. Send him a message on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever. Text message. Let them know hey, this is going on. Get the word out to their people because they're being oppressed in most states just like we are. They're told to stay at home. I talked about this the other day with with the courts. The courts right now are shut down. People are like, well, why don't we file lawsuits? Well, we can't. There's nobody there to hear them. This was an extremely coordinated and planned attack. You want to talk about conspiracy theories and stuff like that. You don't pull this off without some planning and things going down the right way. Sure, maybe not everybody was in on it, and there was definitely like some peer pressure that went in. I think that happened more in the red states than anything. Peer pressure and pushing them with that to get involved. And potentially risking their re-elections. But that's kind of how it works. They get enough people together and they can push it. Same with us. We get enough of us together, enough of us American citizens, enough of us patriots together, we can push this back the other way, okay? The American flag right behind me, that's going to be our signal, that's going to be our representation, because we are not standing up as anything more than American citizens, and we are standing up to take our country back from these tyrannical leaders. That's what we're after, okay? We, the people, own this country. Not these few select leaders who think they're dictators now. We own this country, and we're going to take it back. They need to fear us. Now, in saying that, we are not going to do anything violent. We are not going to do anything like that. Our presence, our voice alone will make them afraid. Make them afraid that they will not get reelected. We have elections in a lot of areas coming up very shortly. So we need to send this message that we are strong, they are not. They represent us. And that's the message we are sending. Now, one thing I just wanted to talk on real quick at the end here is President Trump. So, I talked about it a little bit earlier. He sent out that message about mutiny on his Twitter account. We shared that. Here's the thing. There's been a lot of argument on this, a lot of discussion on this. It is my view that the country was founded and united under the U.S. Constitution. The Bill of Rights is then amendments to that Constitution, so they then are part of the Constitution. It says so in the preamble to the Constitution. They are together one thing we call the Constitution. That Constitution is senior to everything else. It does not give the government a bunch of powers. What it does is it establishes the limitations of government. It establishes our rights, and that is why it is supreme, okay? Our rights are supreme to everything else. No law may be issued in any federal court, any federal Congress, any state Congress, anything else that violates our rights given in the Constitution, okay? Now, the president, his job is to defend the Constitution. He takes an oath when he enters office that he swears to defend the Constitution. So he absolutely has the power to stop these dictatorial governors who are doing tyrannical acts right now. Okay? He absolutely has that power, and he has federal law enforcement organizations that are able to act within the United States for anybody violating those federal rights. So, Mr. President, you absolutely can defend us. We absolutely support you. It is your job. That is my message. We are here to support you, and we will show up in numbers to let you know that, okay? Everybody who's with me on that, share the hell out of this message. Final note, like I said, share the page. Get YouTube out there right now. It's going to allow us to continue to share the message. That's where I want everybody focusing right now. If you're not sharing the page, share the YouTube channel. Share the YouTube videos. We've got links to that already. And that's where we're going to go, okay? So we need to be sharing the hell out of this. I'm gonna turn it over right now to some questions and answers, and let's see where we go. It looks like there's a ton of these. Let's see here. All right. So channel their egos and anger and make this positive, Sean. Yeah. People have to channel their egos and anger and make this positive. Absolutely. You know, even for me, and this is what I said in one of the earlier videos, this is not about the ego. This is not about my ego. This is 100% about the purpose. So the cause of this thing, we have to get done what we're trying to get done, okay? So if it's a matter of switching a date from May 1st to May 2nd, the May 2nd date I'm not okay with. If somebody has something going on April 30th, I can understand if they already have a huge following and we have a short following in an area, we may switch something like that up. It's not about me. It's about the message that we're sending. So, you know, I got no problem with that. But May 2nd, I do have a problem with, not for my ego, not for this thing, for everybody's safety, because the Antifa fist was already used massively on the original flyer. They realized people were catching on and they started doing another one. So I don't know if Antifa is actually involved in that or not. Maybe that was somebody's mistake. But number two, that is an extremely disorganized event. So, you know, they're calling for people to just go anywhere. Go to a park, go to a library, go to town hall, whatever. That's not going to cut it for us. We are going at an organized national message, okay? That's where I want to go. Bandanas do work. Mike Hall, can we get speakers to present our case to these governors and mayors acting like tyrants? That is a great thing. If anybody knows any civil rights lawyers, if you're friends with one, if you're Facebook friends with one, Twitter friends with one, get them to get in contact with me. The best place to go, also drop this, we have an email address. It's on the Facebook page. But in case you don't know it, the email address is americanrev2@gmail.com. Drop us a line if you know somebody who is a civil rights lawyer. Don't flood that email account with just, you know, good word. I appreciate it. But we want to keep that communication line kind of clear. So if somebody does email us that they know a civil rights lawyer, we can get in contact. I would love to interview some of them. I would love to get them on board because I see a massive a massive class action lawsuit going against these governors at the end of this thing. You know, the civil rights have been violated. I want to help get that organized. I think, you know, huge class action lawsuits happen. And let's see, Nick Holloway, I don't want to wear a mask either, but I will be. We don't want to give them any excuse to shut us down. Yeah, and I mentioned it earlier. The masks serve several purposes. So, number one, you know, and you can argue this one if you don't believe in the disease, whatever. I'm not going to speak to that, but for the people who do believe coronavirus is something that's communicable and is serious, it protects them, okay? So that's the first thing. It's for safety, for those of you who believe it and, you know, want to be safe. Number two, it offers anonymity, okay? So this is definitely a thing. There will be people there recording this, not only us. We will be recording it for our own safety. Everybody bring your phones. We want this to blow up on the internet when we do it. But also the mainstream media will be there recording this, and that's, you know, there's several aspects of that. So number one, you can be shamed if this thing isn't big enough, if it doesn't shut down, if something bad happens, there's another false flag event, you can be shamed as one of the people going into this. I don't want to see that happen to anybody. Number two, you know, you're also potentially going to be tagged as somebody who's irresponsible. They will find the one guy who's not wearing a mask and talk to them. That's what they look for at these things. They look for anybody who's on the fringe that they can make a crazy story out of. You may believe what you're saying. We don't want that to be part of our message. I believe a lot of stuff is very crooked about this, but we're not talking about that because we don't want the people who don't know about it and don't believe it and can't even think about it to get distracted with that. We want them to get on message with the constitutionality of this, okay? We don't want to turn them off so they aren't even listening. We want to wake up the whole United States. It's a horrible phrase, by the way, the wake up thing. Edwin Dearborn brought this up on one of his posts. The wake up thing, the problem with that is, and we got that shoved down our throats for a long time with these people doing these damn transgendered library story time things. Oh, well, you're not woke. It's an immediately invalidating statement. It says that the person is asleep right away. They may not feel they are, okay? So when you start off offending somebody, you're not going to get them to listen to you. This is just sales 101, guys. You have to start at a place that you can get in. I have a lot of friends that I've educated on this, and they were totally against stuff like this at the beginning. They were talking about how this is the scariest thing ever. You guys are idiots. And, through education and handling them on what they can deal with, we got them to a place where now they're 100% on board. They're going to be marching with us, and that's what we need. We need to get more people educated so that they can do this. And it hurts our message when we start talking at stuff that's over their head, okay? Once they get on board with this, then they can get into that stuff. You can talk to them about that, and they can get more educated on how corrupt the entire system is, how it's designed at corruption, okay? So talk to them at their level. Let's try to keep it so that we don't throw them off. Bill Smith, this guy works for the CIA to identify people yeah, you're crazy. All right, let's see. Jennifer from Mississippi, hi, thank you. Can you talk about how the government is seizing couches? What are you talking about? Okay, so we got some idiots on here too. That's nice. Hey, every movement's got haters. You gotta love it. Pennsylvania can't even purchase a car. Yeah, we had somebody here in Illinois. Actually, they were a repair shop for vehicles, and they were told to shut down because they're non-essential. How can you say they're non-essential when an auto dealer is, who does the same thing? You're picking and choosing who stays open. The police came to him several times, and they basically told him that it was the second strike, the third one he's getting arrested, and they'll yank his business license. Are you kidding me? Like this is as corrupt as it gets. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Adam, currently live in Arizona, and raids are happening at the whatever. Yeah, Holly, we'll post more links. We'll send them to you directly for things, so then you can get out there. Linda, I really like that Michigan, what Michigan did. Impressive. Yeah, absolutely. They did a great job. Yeah, Mike, the president is saying that the governors are doing amazing. I think he's changing his tune as well. He's definitely moving more in the direction of starting to vocalize his upset with the constitutionality or the unconstitutionality of this thing. So he's starting to get a little more vocal because I think we're making it a little safer for him. That's part of the thing is he too has an election coming up here, and he. If we're not on his side, if we're all afraid, he can't talk about this stuff that much. So our support is what's going to help him get this done for us, help him defend us. I mean, we have to stand up for ourselves. So we're not looking for somebody else to save us. We're going to save ourselves. That's the number one message. But he's on our side. Let's see, Hassan, you're listening while driving. Good. Drive safe. Make sure you're using a Bluetooth. Glenn, I promise to keep my big mouth in check. Feel free to scowl at me. Kansas, if I'm out of line at rallies, sometimes I need someone to pay me on the back and calm me down. Yeah, we definitely want to be vocal. We want to be heard. We'll just need to make sure that everybody's on message. Let's see. Let's see. Roxy, Kansas here too. Yes, thank you, Roxy, from Kansas. Justin, hi from West Texas. Linda Aldinger. Mark Muser, constitutional lawyer. He's on Facebook and already filing suits. Awesome. If you know him, try to get him to contact me. We want more of this on there. Let's see. We're gonna just ignore the idiots. Not even give them any credence in this thing. Let's see. Yeah. By the way, that's another thing I would like to talk to is lawyers in regards to protest protocols. I know there's a couple people that you have to identify yourself to the police, but not in every state are you mandated to show an ID. So that would be interesting to hear from some defense lawyers on that as well. If you know somebody who's really into that in different states, would be interested in hearing more about that as well. Let's see. Let's see. Gabriella, someone asked me if it was worth walking by the legislature in Springfield, Illinois, when it's not in session. That's one of the things we're kind of thinking right now as far as Illinois goes, that Pritzker may be in Springfield for the 30th as he announces that this thing is going to extend. Plans may change for Illinois because he has been in Chicago. This is why we want to keep communication lines so clear and everybody so tightly connected, so that if something does change and plans change that he is going to be in Chicago, that we can be there in front of him. We want this to be in front of the governors. That is a very important thing. Let's see. Nick Holloway, Walmart in Southern Illinois is now not selling non-essential items. This is junk. This is garbage. There's no way this should be in any way law. This is ridiculous. Geraldine Case, Newsom is a dictator. California hates him. And this is one of the things. Several of these Democratic states have movements to recall their governors. This should be running in coincidence with this. We need to get rid of these dictators. We need to get rid of them. Bobby Elizabeth, who is organizing in Maryland. We have several people that are coming on board all over the place. There's a specific post about help wanted. Post on there. We will be getting in contact with everybody. So we are getting this all together. Let's see. If a state is severely restricting, it is the governor. Good news coming. Dustin. Dustin Hawley, there are a lot of different theories out there. No need to confirm or deny any one particular. No need to overwhelm anyone. We're all here for freedom. That should be a message to the reporters. You're right. They always try to trick people up, make them see more. So again, just talking at people's level, what they can accept. Don Warner, Compton, California will be there on May 1st. Thank you. Let's see. What else do we got here? Timothy silver nailed permits. Many states require permits. Yeah, that is one of the things with the protocols the week before that we will be getting out there. We will be taking care of. Some states we're already checking into it because we know they need permits a little bit earlier. So we are getting on this. Geraldine Case, shout out to El Dorado, California. Let's see. Yeah, we tried to recall Newsom, but we fell short on number of signatures. Don Warner. Yeah, this right here gives a much bigger calling to that. This helps that happen. Carla Terry, how do we find organizers or leaders for our state? We put out a post a little bit earlier today on the page that we're looking for help wanted. We are going to be forming groups for this for each state or area that's doing it, so that everybody can stay in contact. That's one of the best ways. Nick Holloway, we're going to need to make a set in stone location for Illinois because people need to get babysitters. I mean, honestly, they're going to need babysitters whether they're going to Springfield or whether they're going to Chicago. That's very true. The drive times are going to be the major difference. What time they need to leave the house, because there is a 2-hour difference there. So yeah, we're not going to save this till the very last minute. We are going to be getting that firmed up as soon as we can, and hopefully Pritzker's chicken little butt doesn't just run to the other one when we set it. So. Holly, good. You're willing to help with Pennsylvania. I appreciate it. Jenny Myers is going to be in contact with you. She's the one helping organize all the state coordinators. Really, thank you for this. Or any surrounding states that have need. That's awesome. You're fantastic. Thank you. So, unless we have any more questions, we're gonna call it time for today. I eventually am going to be splitting this up into two videos. One in the morning, probably 8 o'clock in the morning, so that we can get people on if they're up. And then we're always going to do the 6 p.m. one. So always look for the 6 p.m. one. If it's not here, and we get blocked from doing videos at 6 p.m. on Facebook, it will be on YouTube. As we get the website more developed, we'll just post them directly to the website so that everybody can share from there. So for now, keep pumping YouTube, keep pumping the page, the posts out there. Like I said, go back, use some of the tactics to keep this thing rolling. Cynthia, thank you. Thank all of you for being part of this. All of you are what's making this happen. Like I said, I'm just here to help organize, help get things so that we stay safe in this and we get our message across. It's you guys that are doing this. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Bye.